I-V-M.
Hey everybody, we'd like to welcome a new sponsor, Storytel. Storytel is an audiobook streaming services for mobile and tablets. If you haven't heard audiobooks before and you're a podcast listener, audiobooks are probably right up your alley. You can enjoy your favorite titles when you travel, exercise, or cook. There are great books over here, like the Percy Jackson series is available if you want like some new fantasy, or if you want to go for something old school or classic. You can get either Bram Stoker's Dracula, or you could get Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter series. Download Storytel today from the app or Play Store and enjoy a free 14-day trial. That's Storytel, Storytel. Storytel from the App Store or Play Store. Download it today.
You're listening to Keeping It Queer with Naveen Narona.
Hello and welcome to Keeping It Queer with me, Naveen Narona. And today we have made the impossible happen. We have two very influential LGBTQ people in our studio. Though we wanted both of them together to be in the studio together, but we couldn't. So we do have Rani Ko-He-Nur, aka Sushant Divgikar, in the studio with us. Hi, Sushant.
What's up?
And we have Alex, also known as Maya, from Bangalore, joining us over WhatsApp. Say hi, Maya.
Hi, in the cuties and cuttons.
Alright. So the reason I got them together for this episode, because we don't really need to tell about your lives so much. We all know already so much about your lives. You all are really out there doing so many cool things. But the reason I got you all together is because I have recently fallen in love with drag. And I now want to quench my thirst and my knowledge to understand the drag culture.
He's recently fallen in love. Maya, can we leave the show?
Yes, you have the privilege, but just like look at the uninitiated and give us some mercy and tell us, you beautiful drag queens.
Naveen, you actually saw me perform live. Do you still remember that?
Yeah, I saw you perform live.
Which he was giving you a subtle hint that he's...
See, I'm throwing shade as well. I'm just learning to throw shade right now.
Because he saw Rani
I was a baby drag queen then, but yeah.
Yeah, now you have like totally come out of cocoon and become a big butterfly.
You basically wear better sarees now.
I've become a butterfly. Yeah. Oh, I used to be like a widow that time. I used to only wear white sarees. White
and
Kerala sarees.
And the wigs have gotten better too. So, yeah.
Lace front, bitch. Lace front.
Yeah.
So we're already having a Kiki, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm.
So these are all these new terms I've recently like got to know. And so tell me, first I'll ask you, Sushant, because you're in the studio with us. Tell me how the drag performer that you are today came to be and what was the reason behind that?
I always wanted to do drag, but I was doing so many other things like TV and then, in my pageant and stuff like that. And I was touring a lot with my band and I sing. And so that's the reason why I couldn't really give as much time to drag, because drag is like a full-time job, And so the thing is that I wanted to make sure that I was sure about doing something and I just don't do it half-heartedly. Mm-hmm. And so I waited for it, and of course then you had Maya doing it since a couple of years now.
Exactly.
And she's been there for a while, and she's really initiated the masses into coming in and understanding that drag is an art, and I really thank her for that. I hate the bitch, but I love her as much as I hate her.
So
I love you too, Shishi.
So Maya, as we said, we performed together back in 2015, I think, or 14, when we traveled to Hyderabad together. I did a comedy set and you did the whole performance and you sang so much. And the reason I was so perplexed by it back then was because I had no idea what this whole thing is. Because before, when you grow up as a heterosexual kid, you're told that drag race is something that happens in America, and it's like where the hillbillies go to drive a car. We never initiated that with the same thing. So back when I saw you there, you were just starting out, and what was your inspiration behind drag?
First I saw Mrs. Doubtfire, and that is how I came to know that drag even existed. And then, I'm like this quirky kid who does research always, and I used to go and research about drag. And that's when I came to know about Team Edna and RuPaul's Drag Race.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then one thing led to another, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a different ball game altogether. This is you can be a you can live different characters. You can be like Shushi lived his dream of being a vamp, and I lived the dream of being this Sati Savitri.
Oh,
you know,
shut
and
up.
then
What do you mean vamp? I'm the queen.
You're serving fish, aren't you?
Honey, of course.
So again,
And
like,
she's serving fish fries.
yeah,
with some puttu on the
I'm
side.
with toddy, yes.
So my
Yeah,
question
so
obviously
that-
next is that within drag, there's like every drag queen is a different talent, is a different kind of drag queen, and tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I keep saying that the drag, being drag queen or drag king, you can be shapeshifters, and it's a talent to actually keep serving like different kinds of looks, different kinds of characters on stage. You are actually living. There are times when I feel like I'm living a character. Like out to suddenly I'm being Sridevi on stage, or suddenly I'm becoming like one of the Malayali actresses. So that's something that is a talent. To bring out live on stage, being a larger than life character.
You always have
And,
like a diva to channel through your performance.
Yeah.
So basically in my outfits, what I do is like, I don't have, a signature in terms of, I have one signature neck piece that I have which is very, very royal and regal and very expensive.
Like the Koh-i-Noor.
It's like the Koh-i-Noor, and
Several men after it.
first of all, I want my Koh-i-Noor back from that Elizabeth. She's robbed it. It's not even hers. So she needs to return it to the original queen. Yeah. So, I mean, and the thing is that all my looks are completely different. And in terms of like, every wig is different. Every, for every, sort of an occasion. So for Christmas, I'll be like, Santa's little helper. And then for drag, Halloween, I just have to basically not wear any makeup. I'm scary the way I am. And so stuff like
Morticia comes out.
Morticia. No, she's Morticia, definitely.
Okay.
Maya is definitely Morticia, without any help required.
Like the Indian version, we can
Absolutely.
totally ship
Yeah,
that.
the black
Mallu
sari.
version.
Maybe I should wear the white sari next time. White sari with the candle.
No, darling, you have to
with the
just
hair
wake up
and
and come on stage. It's scary.
And just wear skates and float around everywhere you go, under the sari.
Yes.
But what we see now is like, after obviously Maya started the trend and then you took it forward. And now we have something amazing happening in Bombay where actually Mama Ru girls, like girls who were in the RuPaul's Drag Race, have come to Bombay and performed with y'all.
Even Delhi and Bangalore.
Delhi and Bangalore as well. And that's madness, I think.
Yeah.
And my ex is a big RuPaul fan. And when I told him I'm talking to you guys, he shrieked. He sent me a voice note where he just shrieked like a howling queen. Yeah, I can play that audio as well. So tell me, I mean, like, I'm just like, again, as I said, I'm very new to this whole thing, but I feel the fierceness, I feel the excitement. And what was this whole initiation what was the whhole process that brought you all to this, bringing them to India and working with them?
So I think Mr. Suri, Mr. Keshav Suri is a very big closeted drag queen himself. And
all on record, huh?
yeah, he loves it. And the thing is that he's such a big fan of the drag race. And so he said that, if we're doing this, we need to be, we need to revolutionize the drag culture in India. And because, we need to make it more mainstream. And so, which is the reason why he got the, reigning queens and, one or two not so flattering queens also down to the country. And
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that they had free dates, the others didn't, and so we just got them down. But like someone like an Alaska and a Violet.
Yeah. Let's say a full name because it's such a badass name.
Alaska Thunderfuck 5000.
That's right.
Honey.
Thunderfuck. So, who are your favorites from the whole show?
Maya, go first. You're older.
My all-time favorite is RuPaul herself, and then after that comes Bianca Del Rio, and then Bob the Drag Queen. So these are my favorites.
All right, what about you?
Well, I love RuPaul for sure. Like, she's the first one who actually, put drag into the mainstream, on VH1 and with Michelle Visage, who's also always in drag. And so, and then of course I love Jackie Beat and Bianca Del Rio.
Yeah.
For sure. From the younger one, I think Alaska is, sort of mad and crazy and silly and whacked out. And she's just like a slut and I love it.
So every personality has to be like, different. And the fact that the show has been on for 10 seasons into its origin, and it also won the Emmy. Like RuPaul won an Emmy for doing this. And then we also heard about someone called Lahore, Rajasthan.
Yeah.
She's basically from Bangalore itself. She's working in Boston. Okay. She's my drag mother. Her way of explaining Rajasthan is basically, that there is Pakistan on that side, there is Baluchistan, there is all these stan, and we are actually in middle, so it is like a V shape, so that's why she's calling it as Rajasthan.
That's just the politically correct statement. She basically just wants to say is the land of vaginas.
Exactly.
Rajasthan.
So explain the concept of drag mother to me. What does a drag mother do to you? Like, she basically is a mother hen.
She basically mentors you. She actually teaches you various stuff from like makeup to say I'm having a signature move, or to like saying that, girl, this is how you do it on stage, and not just going on and just performing just like that. You have to have a purpose. So that is what being a drag mother is.
It's basically like a mentor.
Yes, I think I'm a drag mother to two drag daughters already. Like they just popped out of my vagina. So yeah.
Nice. The clan is growing.
I'm not a drag mother. Maybe I could be a drag sister. I'm too young to be a drag mother. Yeah. Or Maya, on the other hand, has been around. So.
Which is what's surprising, Alex, because you're such a young dude and you're such a chirpy.
Oh, stop it! Stop saying she's young. Okay.
But your drag avatar is
230 years old. What is young?
Your drag avatar is called Amma, though.
Amma, the mother.
So did you consciously choose to play like an older character when you chose to go for drag?
The thing is, when I made the name that is Mother of Illusion, if you translate it from Malayalam, the reason being was like, when you come on stage, you actually throw this illusion that you are a woman on stage, and that you are a mother of the illusion. And that is the reason. Not like I just want to be, I want to be a mother always. No, nothing like that.
So do you see this like graph intersecting in the middle where now as you grow older, you'll become a younger, sluttier drag queen?
It's too late.
It's too late, yeah, exactly. So she said it. It's too late.
Alright, so we're having a lot of fun. We'll just take a small break and come back. And it's time for us to shante away and come back. Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! Brownie points.
Finally.
Hey friend, so if you're listening to a podcast right now, you're probably some kind of a nerd. A nerd at heart, at least. So maybe, just maybe, you might like another podcast about nerds, by nerds, and for nerds.
It's called Geek Fruit, a community to unite estranged geeks from across India and later on the world. We talk about television, movies, science fiction, adventure, fantasy, etc. Anything nerdy, it's all here on Geek Fruit. You can catch a fresh episode every Monday,
and you can check us out on iTunes, Audioboom, Stitcher, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Like my favorite podcast app, the IVM podcast app. Give me my money, IVM.
Good plug.
Happy listening, you nerds.
Hello and welcome back to Keeping It Queer. My name is Naveen Narona. I'm in conversation with Sushant and Alex, also known as Rani Ko-He-Nur and Mayamma. Before we talk about other stuff that's related to drag and the culture in general, what are the challenges that you face with regards to it? First of all, I know the makeup and the dresses themselves are like very expensive. So that's an upkeep you have to like worry about.
Yeah. It is. Drag is expensive unless you're like a budget queen. And yeah, initially, I mean, everybody has to start off, on a budget. And then, of course, when people see that you're a great performer and then they book you and stuff like that, you make money and then you spend the money. And so, you constantly have to, refill your makeup kits and your wardrobe and your wigs and stuff like that. And everybody doesn't have the willpower to give free blowjobs like Maya. And so you need to
But Maya does have a big closet because given the years
she's got 10 or 15 men stocked up in the closet also.
Yeah.
She hides them under
I keep saying, like I say, I'm married to a guy, but I have like 5 to 10 boyfriends on the side.
See?
So yeah,
that's the way to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Alex, tell me about your experience with makeup and hair and how it's evolved over the years.
I think you have seen it in live.
Exactly,
I had a rat ass wig. I had a rat ass wig during Hyderabad times, and then after that, from there, I had a lot of people just telling me, hey, you know what, you need to improve your look from makeup. I didn't know anything about contouring. I didn't know anything about lace front wigs and all of that. And suddenly I started saving up and finding all those stuff and finding a person who can do it really well, beating my face. Other than makeup and hair, I think what I faced was a lot of people calling me different words, which is derogatory terms, and that is the reason why I kept championing, saying that that drag is an art form and it should not be put under any boxes, and it's actually a form that you can enjoy. There were a lot of friends who were lost. There were a lot of family members were against me, and then slowly I had to turn them back and say, hey, you know what, it's just an art form. I'm not going as that sort of a thing. So that's the various challenges that you face as a drag queen, but hey, when you come out of it, you are shining like a rainbow, so it's a great thing.
But I think also in a country where when I was on TV, was as one of the youngest hosts who was openly gay on TV, and I didn't give a fuck. They're not paying my bills. So, honestly, it's then at the end of the day, you need to... I was 20 when I hosted my first TV show. I'm 27. I didn't give a fuck then. I don't give a fuck now. Now even lesser. But yeah, when I started off, I was just like, oh my God, this is so much hate. But at the end of the day, you're with one of the biggest production houses, and you're doing a very good show on TV, and your boss is happy with you, and the show is doing well. So people want to watch it and then, say shit about you, which is fine. At least you're watching my show, you're monetizing my show, bitch.
Exactly.
You don't realize it, but I'm getting the money out of it. So, yeah, you can say what you gotta say, but...
And Sushant, you led the way basically by being one of the first openly gay people on Big Boss itself, and a show that is the youngest and the most openly gay.
Yeah,
there must be others who
there
have gone.
Couldn't be anything more open than this.
Exactly. So a show that is watched by so many people, did you feel like you were under a scanner at any point, or do you have to prove it? Do you have to serve looks up there as well?
Yeah, of course. But I just come back from the Mr. Gay World pageant, so my legs were on point. I would look like $1 million fucking bucks. And yeah, so I loved it. But the only thing is I was really young also. I was 24. And I didn't know that you had to study the show and stuff. And I thought it's a reality show. And, a lot of the people were like, oh my God, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. We're going to eat food like this, we're gonna shit like that. And I was just like myself, I was chilling like a villain in the house, and I didn't realize that you have to make sure that you're playing the game and you have to play the people and all of those things. I didn't give a fuck. I still got paid.
Alright, so last thing I want to hey, but money is important.
I'm still doing much better than most of my contestants.
Okay.
Sorry, bitch. I can pay your rent and your mother's and your father's, and I can take your daddy on a date, and I can make sure that I'm your new mama. How?
Yes.
How's it going, bitch?
Right.
They should choose their winners properly. You see, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And when we say that, when we talk about when I was speaking to Maya as well about getting drag into the mainstream, I am doing one of the biggest music festivals in drag, which is I didn't tell you, Maya, but you'll know now. But as Rani, and the thing is that you need to get your community into the mainstream. It's definite. It's fantastic when you say fuck this, fuck that. They're not paying my bills. But the thing is that you have to go so unabashedly. You need to go so unapologetically on stage and say that this is me. You don't have a choice. You've paid your ticket. I am one of the performers. You're gonna watch me. You don't have a choice. Where are you gonna leave from this arena? If you leave, you can't come back. Bye. Watch me, bitch. It's like that. And the thing is that, and then they love it because how is it different? How is it different from any other performer? It's probably much better, and we're much better in terms of...
Okay, for the people who have no idea about what they would expect at a drag show, can you walk us through what happens ideally, like an evening where you have to go, Maya?
So basically, you wanted, we put in a larger than life show. So it'll be starting off with we both going on stage and maybe giving a little bit of banter here and there, and then we'll have our two individual performances. And mostly all the performances are live, like in lip sync performances. And at the same time, it would be great if we can throw in a bit of stand-up comedy, like Sushant does stand-up comedy as well, and I do stand-up comedy too. So that actually involves the audience.
I should start working on my drag persona sometime.
So that's what we do. And the thing is, what we do is like let people have a ball of fun, and you should not take life seriously, and that is what drag is all about, not taking life seriously. So that's what we do for all our shows. And what I've seen, and we both went on a tour, everybody's having a ball time, and that is what we all want. So
yeah, basically Maya wanted to sell me in Bangalore, but the thing is that they didn't offer a very good price.
They can't afford you.
Yeah, because South Bombay and then Indiranagar is just...
Hey, Indiranagar is nice.
I don't know, but they didn't really offer me a good price.
Maya, this is a attack on your turf, huh?
Yeah, it's my
all
turf.
because of her. She had promised that she will get me a good client, and she didn't. Rani is very upset.
I think when you come next time, I'll give you
she
a
keeps
really
saying next time that's the problem with Maya. She'll always say next time, darling, I will take you to all the bus stops, and I'm just like, bitch, if you start only with the bus stops, we're not getting any.
It's like glory also down there.
Absolutely. So yeah.
Cool. Before we end the show, I would like to, for example, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling him, I'm talking to drag performers in India and learning their life, and he's like, "What is drag?" So I told him there are men who like to dress up and perform, and they do an entire extravagant thing, and it's a whole whole new culture. And he's like, "Oh, that's what happened on Kapil Sharma's show, right? Like with like those two guys." And I'm like, "No." So to those people, how would you, Sushant and Maya, in your classic swag and your classic sass, how would you talk to these people?
I won't.
I think they're making fun of women, and we don't make fun of women. We become the women on stage.
But why are you even going to talk to someone like that who watches Kapil Sharma's show?
We don't even bother.
I'm sorry, please don't come in front of my face. Never come on my face at all, but not even going to come in front of my face. Never.
The classic thing is she said.
See, the thing
We
is, if you're
should say
watching...
bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia, that's right.
Say bye, Felicia.
Yeah, honey. You don't need to explain shit to nobody.
Yeah.
You need to tell them that drag is an art form, and if they really like it and they really want to know about it, there's Google, bitch.
Just
jump off
take
the
the
couch,
ass up down to Kirisu. That's it. Exactly.
Okay, so in your trademark ways, say bye to the audience before we leave. Like use your best phrases from your drag culture and just like go crazy.
Bye. I'll wait till you kiss my jewels.
As any goodies and goodens, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Before we leave, I would like to quote Andre Paul, also known as Mama Ru. We're all born naked and the rest is drag. See you on the other side.
Yes!
Don't go anywhere. The Keeping It Queer podcast will be back with the Culture Vulture segment featuring Farhad right after this break.
Long, long ago, not in Bethlehem, but in a place nearby, there was a wonderful birth of a huge show, which I like to call Cyrus Says. A show that encapsulates everything in human history, from the first Homo sapien to the last Homo sapien, who's traversed the entire world and then come back to India. This is a show which tells you everything about everything. If you want to know, avoid Google, come to us. It's called Cyrus Says. Get new episodes every Monday on the IVM podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts on. You get one banana water free with every podcast. Right. I'll just check that.
Hello, welcome back to Keeping It Queer. This is Culture Vulture, a segment on Keeping It Queer where we talk about culture, gay life, and recommend some cool stuff to you that you can check out about queer lifestyle. And joining me today is Farhad, as always.
Hello.
Hi Farhad, what's happening?
Nothing much. Should I make my signature vulture sound already?
make it once again.
You know, once this Parsi guy told me that vultures don't eat dead Parsis anymore, and I was like, why? He's like, they literally just like the toppings. And I said, what are the toppings? And he said, they just come, they nitpick on the eyeballs, tongue and penis, and they fly
the easier muscles too.
Yeah, so I am very worried about what's going to happen to my
Vultures
junk.
are gay, by the way.
Yeah. I am so worried what's going to happen to my junk once I'm dead.
Because like you lock eyes, then you make out, and then you suck the cock. So that's how the whole flow of it goes.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm just like, I'm reaching out too hard for this one.
I am totally going to get banished from my community, but that's fine.
Hey, but then like, how many of y'all are left anyway?
Yeah.
So they need you.
They pretty much banish 10 people a day, so it's
exactly.
okay.
So, do you know like what's the Parsi community's take on the whole gay thing overall? Do you have like an idea?
Wow, that is a great fucking question. No, it really is. I'll tell you why. Because number one, there are certain like assumptions that a lot of people have always made, and I because I'm on the receiving end of it, I always get oh, you're Parsi, you must be gay. And surprisingly, I don't know that many. And so many people usually try to think that, oh, your population is dwindling because the men are gay. I've heard that so many fucking times, you'll be amazed. I don't think that's true. We are just a very infertile lot. Studies show that. But yeah, I don't know a lot of Parsi gay guys, man. I know
two.
I know two.
You're the second one.
Yeah, because I'm the only gay in the village.
Burn down the village.
Yeah. No, I have 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 Parsi gay friends, but again, I've just always got this huge assumption that, oh, Parsi guys are gay. And I would totally like to knock that. I wish they were, a lot of them. When I'm at Dadar Parsi colony at a friend's house, just checking them play football. Oh my God. Yeah. Have you ever seen the Parsi boys playing football at Dadar Parsi colony?
I've seen, yeah.
Yeah,
but again, like,
you don't seem very excited about it.
My type is not athletic in general, so like, you know, if they're playing with football, I'm like, yeah, good for them, they're healthy like that. But like, give me some more foreign
stockier sports.
The bears, you know.
Okay,
we already had this conversation, Farhad. What the fuck?
We did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
At NH7, you were drunk.
Shut up. I'm not even a stoner anymore. Why do I not remember this?
You were back then.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do you have for us from your vast cultural knowledge that we pull out?
Okay. So I feel a lot of people nowadays, I feel like in music in general, it is time to move away from liking divas. Like, there's a Lady Gaga camp, right? There's a Britney Spears camp, there's an Ariana Grande camp, there's like camps.
Yeah.
But I feel like nowadays there are so many contemporary artists who reflect themselves, their sexuality, and so I'd love to recommend some musicians and bands.
Go ahead.
My number one and probably all-time favorite till the day I die artist is going to be this artist called Shun. I would definitely recommend everyone checks his music out. He sings about fucking songs about barebacking to like everything literally, and he's got his finger on the pulse of gay culture in general. A lot of my friends mock that, oh, this artist name is Sion, but it's spelled Ssion, but he actually calls himself Shun. Check it out. He just came out with a new song last month, and it's honestly already my favorite song of this year, easily. There's Shun, there's Perfume Genius. If you guys have not heard about Perfume Genius, do it right now. Fantastic, amazing,
what's
high
the
art. I'd say Shun is more like it could range from garage punk to like really candy pop, but Perfume Genius is more sort of down garage rock, but again they don't limit themselves. I feel like that's the beauty of it. A lot of these artists no longer limit themselves to a genre anymore. Yeah, but one artist who does a particular genre of music is Power Bottom minus the have you heard of Power Bottom?
No.
It's Power Bottom minus all the vowels, so it's PWRBTTM. He does a lot of grunge rock, alternative rock. great fucking music.
So how successful are these artists? Like, given that they are like...
I know they are like really... There are like, you have the most popular ones like Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean is like...
It's fucking magnetic.
Yeah, right?
His voice is beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Yeah.
He is beautiful.
His music
Frank,
also.
if you're listening, you're beautiful. But Frank Ocean, you have Troye Sivan, who I did not know about until very recently.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of like twinks on my fucking list. Troye Sivan, and I just put him in that slot in my head where I'm not going to listen to Troye Sivan. But I just heard his latest song, My, and My. Oh my God. Like, that's what I'm trying to talk about. Like, it is so, like, nowadays for an artist to sort of reflect their sexuality, because as a kid I would look up to a Madonna or I would look up to a Mariah Carey and sort of say, I get the lyrics are supposed to make me feel a little like, I might be gay, you know.
Especially Vogue, man. When I heard Vogue and saw them dancing like that,
oh my God,
like, what are these guys doing? They're so cool.
Yeah, can I totally suggest, if you like Vogue, there's a new movie called Kiki.
Oh,
have you heard about it?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, fantastic.
So Kiki is a term.
Yeah.
So it's a term mainly used by drag queens. It's a term where people come together and gossip. It's a offshoot of Kai Kai. Kai Kai is when two drag queens have sex.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know
I know
that.
this now.
Oh my God.
It's just watching too much of RuPaul's Drag Race, basically.
Shut
so
up.
Kai Kai is when two drag queens in drag have sex.
Yeah.
And then when they gossip, it's called Kiki. So
Okay.
so I think that's where the reference is coming from.
Okay. Yeah. It's a show about voguing, which Madonna sort of...
yeah, and it's a proper culture. Voguing
It is a
culture.
proper culture. This movie looks at in New York like the best voguing artists battling it out on the streets. It is a fantastic
very
film.
strong calf muscles and thigh muscles for voguing. I
Yeah.
realized that.
Oh my God. I see some of them, and trust me, I see a lot of Indians trying to do it.
Because it's like slow motion garba. If you look at Vogue properly, like there are certain steps with... No, I'll tell you why. Because there's certain steps with Dandiya. Even if you watch the Vogue video, you realize like Madonna's doing certain steps.
Yeah, if you just like remove the Dandiya from a video, it's voguing
it's
basically.
voguing. But very fast, you know. So you slow it down, then it's voguing, but with garba.
You suddenly squat and fall and okay.
Okay. So, great suggestions. Thank you so much, Farhad.
Welcome.
And this is the Culture Vulture segment on Keeping It Queer. We are signing off. I'm Naveen Narona. Thank you so much for joining us.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Millions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.